Hello, I am your host, Jeff Kazahara, and welcome back to Jeopardy! If you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot. We've got a close race here between Alexis Jones, Julia Pierce, and Patrick Goodwin. It's all tied up at 500 points, and we've got one category left. Let's get back to the game. So this first question is for 100 points. People say they do not try to be white, Ellen says about Starletta's parents. What does this tell us about the society they live in? Julia.
People don't choose their race, and they shouldn't have to change who they are just to please society. And by saying that people try to be white, that's pretty much saying that being white is stereotyped as being proper and modest.
Great answer. 100 points to you, Julia. Question number 2 for 200 points. What does Ellen's initial description of Starletta's home reveal about Ellen herself? Alexis.
Well, she talks about how the house is cold and there's dirty floors and it's small, and the way they keep their house warm is by turning on the stove, and she's very aware of her surroundings and it's not very clean, and she's not very comfortable there.
Excellent answer. 200 points, Alexis. Question number 3 for 300 points. What details in her narrative expose her assumptions about black people? Patrick.
Thanks for calling on me, Jeff. She's been brought up in a racist society and household. And an example of this is when she's at Starletta's house. She doesn't want to drink out of the same cup as Starletta because she thinks, for lack of a better word, Starletta is dirty.
Great answer, Patrick. 300 points. Question number 4. By extension, what do they show about her own vision of herself and her family? Julia.
Well, she sees the way that her and her family live is different than the way Starletta's family lives, but she doesn't really see a difference between their personalities just based on the way of their heritage or skin color.
Excellent answer. 400 points. Question number 5. How do these assumptions change, and what causes them to do so? Alexis.
Well, since she's becoming better and closer friends with Starletta, she's experienced to her surroundings, and she stays in different houses and different experiences, so she's really brought into her different situations that she's been in. So it really exposes her, and that is.
Great answer, Alexis. 500 points. Our second to last question for 600 points. How does Ellen's observation of Mavis and her family contribute to her changing attitudes? And now Julia.
Well, up until she moved in with her grandma, she kind of saw herself as higher on the scale than black people, but by meeting Mavis and comparing it to her grandmother, she realized that Mavis is much more caring, and realizes kindness isn't based on race, but based on your personality.
Great answer. 600 points. Now our final question for 700 points. Ellen's grandmother said she would learn something from picking cotton. What, in fact, does she learn? Alexis.
She learns that the exposure she has to black people and Mavis and her family, and it teaches her that the experiences she goes through, so it really shows responsibility and self-discipline.
Great answer. 700 points, Alexis. You are today's winner.
Thank you!
Is there anything you would like to say to the crowd?
No, just thank you so much for this opportunity of being on this TV show.
And what about you, Patrick?
Shut up, Jeff.
And Julia?
I was so close.
Good.
All right, congratulations to our winner, Alexis.
Thank you.
This has been your host, Jeff Kazahara. Good night.